Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to another Hellish Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at this Pebble. I will tell you a little bit more about it in a moment, but it is basically a phone charger and speaker. Now, first things first, let's get it out of the box. I'm not for one of these ones with long unboxing reviews and we open this bit, or it's got this little restriction, and I think they take too long. Box open. Right, it's got instructions, might come back to them. Cables, important, 2 of them, one for charging, one for audio, and then the device itself. Let's flip that out. There we go. Right, put the cables to one side for a moment, and let's examine the device. So, it looks pretty cool. It feels pretty solid. That appears to be the speaker end. This appears to be not. Is it twist, open, pull? Pull. If I pull, it appears that there's some sockets for those previous cables to go into. I'm guessing it's going to need a charge first, so we'll see what happens. The capacity of this particular model, and the model of this one, it's the VPS 0033500, in case you wanted to know. Its output capacity, it's got a capacity of 3,500 milliamp. It's not the biggest battery capacity one on the market out of the ones I've seen. However, it's quite good for its size. It claims up to 2 charges, and it also claims up to 70 hours of playback. One or the other though, you can't have both. So you could probably do, based on that, 1 charge and 35 hours of playback. But let's see if we can get it going and what's happening. So let's check out these cables over here, and there's no real symbols on the bottom for knowing which one's which, but looking at it, one of these holes appears to be a dud, like a dummy hole, and the other hole looks like it is what it is. So that looks like an audio cable to me. We whack the audio jack in there. There was some lights that came on the side there. So let's see. Let's use my phone and see if we can play any noise through it. So let's just see. Play noise. Play noise. There we go. Okay. So plug it in. Yeah. So it's coming out. Let me turn the volume up. Bring that down. Okay, so that was maximum volume. We're on about 33% now. It's not very loud on 33%. It's probably be about the same as what you'd expect from the phone. Let me put it maximum on the speaker. And now the phone. Let's... Okay, so it is considerably louder than the phone. And I can tell you now, I've turned it down again so we can talk, that the sounds and noises that you get from this, the quality and depth of the noise is a lot better than what you get on your phone. It's not going to be as good as like a surround sound or stereo system, but I chose this song because it's got lots of different noises in it, lots of different depths. It is slightly tinny, the sound, but it's not bad at all. Okay, let's just stop that, disconnect it. So you can put this into anything with a headphone socket. It doesn't have to be your phone. So you could put it into an MP3 player or an iPod if you were as inclined to own one. So then, we've listened to what the sound sounds like on the device, but now we're going to check out some of the other features and other cables, and then we'll get onto some scores. You may have noticed I'm changed, and that's because it's a few days later, and what I did is I went away and I decided to really give this a go. I charged it right up and then had a go at charging my phone with it. It charged my phone in about 2.5 hours, and bearing in mind my phone was on, so it takes a little bit longer than what it would if the phone was off. And that's not bad, because my phone, the Nexus 5, has a battery life of about 2,300 milliamp hours. This has a capacity of 3,500, so there's enough charge in here to fully charge it once and then probably about half again. but I never really get my battery all the way down in a day. I might get low sometimes, and the day that I tried it on, I got down to 15%. You could probably get 2 charges out of this if you were only down to 30%. And for that, you need your own charger cable. USB goes into whatever device you want to charge. So it's not just for phones. You can charge your phone, you can charge a variety of different USB devices, even quadcopters that run off USB power. You could do that, and that's probably one of the things that I will be using this for. So that is quite good. It takes overall a little while to charge up itself, but once it is charged, you know, it's okay. You've got the 3 different indicators on here. The blue light tells you when you've got music coming in connected, or so on and so forth. Your red light tells you when it's charging, and your green light tells you when you're fully charged. So it's got a nice little indication system, so you know what's going on, as there's no other interface on this. There's no screen or anything. But yeah, you do need your own cable to charge your own phone, which that works fine. The other cable that's in the box, apart from the audio cable that I showed you previously, is the actual charge cable that you need to charge this itself. Now, you've got a USB to a jack. Your instinct is to put the USB into the device and then go, well, hang on a minute, what do I do now? What it actually is that you put that jack into the headphone socket of the device, and then you charge it via a USB port, either on your computer or through a mains adapter. So that's what that's for. And to be honest, that's quite good as well. So I think you know, that's we've had a look and had a listen to the sound. I've told you a little bit about the charging. Let's go on to the general scores and kind of round off what's going on here. So first things first, aesthetics. Does it look good? Yes, I think it looks very good. Could it look better? Maybe, I don't know. It certainly looks good, and I'm going to give it a nice, very good 7. Good design. Is it well designed? I think it is overall very well designed. It appears very solid. It's a good size. You can get this in your pocket. It's not too heavy. It's unlike some of the really big battery units that are out there. Of course, having the cables, the sockets for the cables covered up by a lid is really quite good. And overall, yes, it's good design. I would give this more points on the design side, but there's a bit of a flaw that I personally is a bit of a bugbear with me, and that's this bit, the end. When I'm using the Pebble out and about for charging and speakers and stuff, I'm going to be away camping, or I'm going to be off out airsofting, or I'm going to be down the beach. If this cap disconnects, I'm probably going to end up losing it at some point. I've got to find somewhere to put this end piece and keep it safe, so that when I finish using it, I can disconnect the cables and put this back on and keep it safe and secure. For me, it would have been so much better, and I would have given it so much more on the design points if it had some sort of connection, or a flip, something you open, something, or even if you can disconnect it and maybe connect it to the other end, or on a little piece of string so it just comes out and dangles down in it, but it's still attached. Something would have been brilliant, but I don't like the fact that this just comes off, and when you're using it, it stays off. So it loses a little bit on the design there, 6 points. Features. For a device, if you're looking at it as a speaker for an audio device, it also charges your device. So that is an extra feature. If you look at it as a charger, it's got the speaker, both ways around. You're getting 2 big features in one here, and that is why I've given this 9 points for features. 2 big things in one. Performance, I've given it an 8 for performance. I wanted to give it more, but the battery life for something like this is not fantastic. It's 3,500 milliamp hour, and you can get bigger out there. Again, the speaker is very good, but it's not fantastic compared to some of the dedicated units. However, for what it is, a small, lightweight, very nice device at a good price, it does have enough battery to get me through a weekend. It does have a really good speaker for me to enjoy my music nice and loudly, and because of that, I'm giving it an 8 for performance. Ease of use. It is very easy to use. You literally just take that off, plug your cable in and it's gone. There's no setup, there's no buttons, there's no modes, there's no pairing because it's done by a cable, and there's just a very simple 3-light system for charging, charged and going in use. So for that, ease of use, it's getting to get a very good 7. Must-have factor. How much of a must-have factor does this have? I think because it is such a sleek design and because it does the two things in one, I think that gives it a bit of a must-have factor. And for that, I'm giving it a 7. And I'm going to give it an 8 for innovation because I think it's a very good idea to put these two things together. Something that you do want out of these features. There are other ones out there that will charge your phone and play music as well. But they're a bit few and far between for my liking. It's pushing the steps. It's following a new trend. It thought, hey, these is two things that people need together. Yes, brilliant. Best in field. Because I haven't seen a lot of competition for this, I'm going to have to just give it an all-round score. If you compare it to a speaker unit, maybe it's not so great. If you compare it to a battery unit, maybe it's not so great. But you can't do it one-on-one like that. For a small, solid device like this that does both, I had to give it a 7. Value for money. I think for the price, this is very good. I picked this up for £25 from Red5, and I think for the price, it does the job great. I'm going to give it a 9 for value for money. I would have happily paid a little bit more for this device. And bonus points. How much I just really want to give it that I couldn't necessarily give it in other areas, or I think it really should have had but didn't quite make the mark. Overall, I'm going to give it just over a very good 8. It is an all-round brilliant device. So that gives it an all-round very good plus of 76. Remember, on my scoring system, 50 is a mess, 70 is very good, and 100 is perfect. So it is well over the very good mark there. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been useful for you in this device, especially if you're considering buying this one. Personally, I would. I'm glad I've bought it. It's going to do me well on my weekend trips away. But that's all from me for now. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed the video or it's been useful for you, remember to give it a like. But that's all. Goodbye.